Now, to be fair, making a phone out of alligator leather is not against the law. Alligator leather is entirely legal to buy and sell and own all throughout the USA. But the price of the alligator leather is what's gonna get ya. This alligator-skinned Vertu Alpha Fold costs $9,380. And today we're going to try to find out if this alligator skin is really real, and hopefully figure out how in the world Vertu is making all these luxury smartphones. You might remember the Vertu brand from MKBHD's Ultra Luxury Smartphone video, or Mr. Who's the Boss's Deep Dive. And I guess that Vertu even liked my own teardown so much, they decided to send me this ultra upgraded Alpha Fold out of the blue. This video is not sponsored, and I do hope they know that this phone won't be going back home in one piece. Vertu's trying to nail the premium unboxing experience with these velvet-lined boxes and additional leather holding sleeves, plus some heavily braided super thick USB-C cables, all of which definitely provide a unique unboxing experience. An experience that we all just got for free, but that some people have to pay $9,380 for. The grand finale, of course, is a vibrantly green-colored alligator-skinned folding phone. And at first glance, you might be like, I ain't never seen no Ninja Turtle-colored alligators before, and you might initially assume that there's no way this alligator leather back is real due to its color. But to be fair, just like cow leather, alligator leather comes in all kinds of different crazy colors, so we can't quite say it's fake just yet. Vertu also sells a super luxury one-of-one gold and diamond version of the Alpha Fold that costs $34,000, basically as much as a car. But don't worry, it does come with free shipping. As we start the durability test, you're probably mathematically hypothesizing that if a cow leather costs between $5 and $15 per square foot, and alligator leather costs between $300 and $1,000 a square foot, we still have a near $8,000 value deficit that we need to find. And since the outer screen obviously isn't sapphire, since it scratches at a level 6 with deeper grooves at a level 7, we need to look elsewhere to see why this phone costs $9,000. The extra value is obviously not coming from the center screen either, since the flexible 8-inch inner screen scratches at a level 2 with deeper grooves at a level fingernail. Vertu claims that while their phones are made with super luxurious premium materials, one of the biggest selling points of their brand is a special 24/7 personalized concierge service button on the side, where an exclusive advisor called Hermes can assist you at the push of a button. I assume Hermes comes from the Greek messenger god who serves as the emissary between the divine realm and humanity, which is an excellent name for a concierge service. The Hermes agent is a combination of AI and real people, with the caveat that the concierge service comes included with the phone for the first 12 months, and after that owners can choose to renew their subscriptions or not. I imagine that the value-add, reoccurring service business model is what Vertu is actually after, with the luxury phones being their ticket in the door. Which brings us back to the totally legal alligator skin leather. The odds of being injured by an alligator are about 1 in 3 million. You're about 200 times more likely to get struck by lightning. But in Florida, those two events could happen at the same time, since Florida has about 1.3 million alligators stomping around in the swamps, and turning them all into wallets is probably frowned upon. Surprisingly, even elephant leather, if taken from an elephant that died of natural causes and properly documented, is legal. But before Vertu gets any new ideas though, let's move on. One super helpful hack for people who like to travel is having a phone with an onboard eSIM. This Vertu Alpha Fold has 2 physical SIM card slots and 8 internal SIM profiles, which means you can use a global prepaid eSIM like my channel sponsor Saley for way more affordable mobile data while traveling. Saley includes heavily discounted data rates to more than 200 global destinations, and now Saley even includes extra phone numbers, like Australia. Kangaroo leather is legal as well, by the way. For just $1 a month, you can use a secondary throwaway eSIM number for marketplace deals, deliveries, or to keep your main number private. You can also bundle countries together, or if you're an explorer extraordinaire, just choose the Ultra plan and get access to 121 destinations all at the same time. There's no more dealing with scammers or dead SIM cards at the airports, or waiting in lines in strange places to activate a new SIM card. Everything happens automatically within seconds right in the Saley mobile app. Plus, Saily has included an ad blocker so your precious data doesn't get wasted on ads. Except for this ad, obviously, since this ad is what's going to save you money the next time you travel. Messages through WhatsApp, Viber, and Signal are all included. Get an exclusive 15% discount on Saily data plans. Just use the code JERRYRIG at checkout. You can also download the Saily app with the QR code on screen, or go to saily.com/jerryrig. Saily has 24/7 round-the-clock customer support because the sun is always shining somewhere. And maybe with Saily you can travel to countries where the animals are still alive and still wearing their skins. Where was I? Ah, yes, alligators. At the top of the alligator-skinned Vertu Alpha Fold, we find 3 camera lenses: a 50-megapixel main camera, a 50-megapixel ultra-wide camera, and a 5-megapixel telephoto. Vertu obviously has to be working with one of the mainstream folding phone manufacturers to design the Alpha Fold, probably Nubia or ZTE. They've obviously installed a new camera plateau and no more premium exterior materials, and maybe customized the internal hardware. I imagine we'll see more of that in a second. Now, I'm not an expert in leathers, but I do know there are several ways of faking or making very convincing imitation leathers. These could be vegan leathers like polyurethane, or maybe just an embossed calfskin, making regular leather look like something it's not. But right off the bat, I don't think it's the vegan leather plasticky stuff, since the fibers are present throughout the entire piece, and the fibers are also multi-directional within the scales of the leather, just like alligator leather should be. I did have some major doubts initially though, since at first glance on the website, every image of the phone has the exact same stamped scale design, which is anatomically impossible for real leather. But then I dug through some social media posts, and indeed every phone pictured online is different, which again points back to the leather being real, and just the website being bad. Now, I don't have any skin in this game, and I'm definitely no Steve Irwin, but outside of a DNA test, I think we just gotta use our eyeballs. So let me know what you think down in the comments. Is this alligator leather real, or is it stamped? The price surely suggests that it's real, but who knows for sure. Speaking of the price point, the specs and screen resolution match pretty closely with the Nubia Fold smartphone released super late in 2025. Both have an 8-inch inner screen with a 120Hz refresh rate and a surprising resilience to flame, with no marks being left after 20 seconds in contact with my lighter. And when it comes to the bend test, we get another surprise. Yeah, it does have some flex when bent in the closed orientation, with no catastrophic bends or kinks on the antenna lines, or even, battery pinching fires like we saw in the Pixel Fold. But when we open it up to bend the Alpha Fold backwards, ridiculously enough, it stays in one piece. I don't get it. These hinges are black magic, and the only way we're going to see the insides is with a teardown, which is actually totally fine with me. I'll rip away the plastic border on the inner flexible screen. This bumper feels way more brittle than on the Samsung Fold 7. That one came off in much larger, more rubbery strips. The Alpha Fold does not have an official IP rating, and once the protective bumper is shaved away, I can use some of the isopropyl alcohol and start lifting up the super fragile inner flexible screen, until it stops working. Its final parting message is to remind Vertu that zebra leather is also very heavily regulated. There's no brandings on the inside of the flexible screen, just the same metallic plates and metal slats running along the hinge that we've come to expect from folding phones. The alligator skin is what comes off next. It turns out that 3 visible flathead screws are just decorative, but there are some actual Phillips head screws under the glass. I probably should have removed that camera plateau. But at least now we're in. I'll lift the front screen off as well, since at this point we're too far along not to. And we'd reveal an impressive amount of internal Vertu branding. While I'm still sure there's someone else actually doing the manufacturing, it appears like Vertu is at least pretty hands-on with the internal hardware. Hands-on enough at least to pop their own logo everywhere. And it's not a straight across white label or private label. And we see Vertu branding on the internal ribbon cables. The Alpha Fold has the Snapdragon 8 Elite, but also there's some additional hardware level privacy protection built in here somewhere. The dual batteries do have pull tabs though, which I'm a fan of. I'll remove the screws holding down the lower loudspeaker. It does have balls, I'll give them that. Then I'll take out the screws around the motherboard and the charging port, because sometimes we can see some more branding on the boards or the battery, and this would give us more clues as to who the manufacturer actually is. The USB-C port can handle 65 watts of fast charging, and now we see even more Vertu branding on the rest of the ribbon cables. Pretty sure Vertu has more branding than Apple at this point. The main 50 megapixel camera does have optical image stabilization, the top 50 megapixel camera does not, and the 5 megapixel telephoto only has EIS, or electronic image stabilization. The final potential clue as to who the manufacturer actually is the branding on the battery. The manufacturer of the battery is SCUD, or Fusion, which actually doesn't help us too much since yes, SCUD does manufacture batteries for ZTE, and the battery capacity is nearly identical to the Nubia Fold, but SCUD is one of the largest lithium-ion battery manufacturers in China, so it's definitely undefinitive. But since there is a ZTE right here on the battery, I think we're on the right track. Either way, if you're a recent billionaire or trillionaire and don't know what to do with all of your money, and you want a phone that nobody else has, Vertu will happily exchange your dollars for a device that most likely, probably, does pretty much everything it tentatively says it can possibly do on its website. Or you could just slap a $20 dbrand skin on an iPhone and light the rest of it on fire. Doesn't matter to me. Either way, if you want to save some money on your mobile data while traveling, the Saley link is in the description. And thanks a ton for watching and subscribing, and I'll see you around.